For over 7 years, I attended multi-genre conventions as a photographer. At these events, I talked to hundreds of cosplayers, took thousands of pictures, and traveled to dozens of cities. I remember this one convention where I encountered a group of cosplayers who were making a skit for a competition. They asked me to join them after the show, and I was curious to get to know them better. Although they didn't win this particular competition, their costumes were amazing, and the skit was hilarious. More captivating to me, though, was seeing how cosplay had really brought this group together, and how their costumes were more than just simple characters. They were an extension of themselves. After talking to them was when I realized that cosplay was a hobby for some, but a way of life for others. I wanted there to be a documentary film that portrayed cosplay as a way of life. A documentary film that went beyond the conventions. From the early days of planning to presenting their final works at competitions, I wanted a film that showed it all. This is when I realized that we needed to make a documentary. My name is Steven Martinez, and I am the director of the documentary film project, Days of Cosplay. I have been making videos for over 8 years. I have been part of music videos, short films, live concerts, and even advertisement projects. I want Days of Cosplay to feel like a film with progression and story, but at the same time, I want it to stay true and honest to what cosplay is really all about. As it turns out, media costuming in its original form has been around for more than 70 years. Since its early days, it's had an interesting history spanning sci-fi, fantasy, comic book, and history conventions around the world. I wanted to spend some time in the documentary retracing how the costuming phenomenon came to be known as cosplay and what lies in store for its future. I have a great team working behind me. I have an animator, writer, editor, cinematographer, and composer. Together, we want to make this movie feel as much like a film as possible. I want to make sure that this is an entertaining documentary that feels like you're living alongside the cosplayers within their circles, showing, not just telling how people feel about cosplay and how it affects their relationships with others and their approach to life. We'll travel all across the United States. From Anime Expo to New York Comic Con, I want to see how cosplay differs across the US. We'll talk to hundreds of cosplayers, both dedicated everyday cosplayers and the professionals who have been actively involved in the community for years. With the high cost of living, travel expenses, equipment, and admissions fee, it would be impossible to do this project alone. With your donations, you can help make this documentary a possibility and receive great perks at the same time. We have a lot of stretch goals to make the film better. We have plans of going to many more conventions, including some outside of the country, so we can get a better perspective of how cosplay differs across the world. If you want more information, you can check out our website at daysofcosplay.com, or you can check out our Facebook or Twitter page. If you believe in this project but can't afford to donate, that's okay. You can still play a huge role by spreading the word about our Kickstarter on your social media page. Tell as many as your friends as possible. And remember, together, we can make Days of Cosplay a reality.